Well, spread out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them that I can see so far. Male is looking very pink and red around the face. Maybe they've been on a kill. Actually, a couple of them are looking quite red. I wonder where they had a kill. The old lady right at the back, the grandma of the pride. They've definitely had a kill last night. They're all looking a little bit round. And quite a bit of blood on at least 3 or 4 of them. She's looking quite muddy too. Muddy and bloody. Poor fan, I'm not really seeing the little girl. She's also showing a bit of pink around the neck. Not as much as others. There in the distance, down towards the leadwood, is old grandma. always see her at the end. She always waits till the pride have moved on and she follows them at a distance. And she's part of the pride. She's the matriarch. She's the old lady, I think. But she always hangs back. Evidently she's quite an old lioness. Also showing quite a bit of red around. Don't know if it really translates much on camera, but she's also showing quite a bit of deep pink around the face and the jowls. And for each of them to be full, they must have had a fair-sized animal last night. Evidently came in from Gowrie, Maine, so they could have come in from the south, maybe had a kill on little Gowrie. Although she's quite distant, you can see that she does look like a very mature lioness. We'll get to see her a lot closer. You'll see how dark black that nose is, opposed to younger lion who have varying degrees of pink and black. Pink when they're born for the first year or so, but then it starts getting a bit spotted. Okay. Hello, Tina in Missouri. Which do I feel safer with, the lion or Karula and the boys? I don't know how you mean, Tina, whether it's in the vehicle or I don't know what you mean. I don't know what circumstances you mean. It's hard to say. One can't get complacent. One can't really say that one feels safe, because these animals are wild, marauding, killing machines. Tooth and claw and blood and guts. The fact that we can sit with them and they can pretty much ignore us is because they're accustomed to the vehicle and they aren't threatened by the vehicles. Well, most of the time they are not. But as we saw with Karula the other day, just can watch her passive behavior for months and months on end, and then all of a sudden she gets really, really upset with the vehicle and she charged the vehicle. You never know what can happen. Here comes the old lady. Mandy, how old do I think the old one is? I don't know, Mandy. Once the lion is adult, maybe if she yawns, I get a look at her teeth. I must forget. I really, the guys were talking about it the other night. They call her Magogo, which means grandmother. If it is the same one I'm thinking of. Tender moment greeting the other lioness. Now, talking about sharing, actually it's the one, that other one looks older than her. A little bit grayer and more scarred. One on the left. They're going to come up to this female. Come and have a nap this side. Hello, Richard. Clearly these lionesses are wanting to move on. Young male's getting up. He's not limping anymore, that's nice to know. He seems to be walking fine. Is this the little girl, I think? There's the male. Here comes one of the young female. No, it can't be the little girl. I don't know where the little girl is. Don't think that was her. But yeah, time for the pride to move. I'm gonna have to move. Turn around quickly. Definitely see an improvement in all of them, partly because they're all nice and full. She came up to us and was looking at Sebastien with hungry eyes. Huh? Yep. Alright, looks like the little girl's not here. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Gosh, that was a sneeze and a half. Well, they are heading up Twin Dams Road. Maybe get the beautiful thing about it is they're making their way into Western Gowrie. Hopefully going to be around for the day or two, a day or two. Thank you, Beryl. Beryl's saying that that young female hasn't been seen for about a week. Nobody knows if she's where she is. Thanks, Beryl. Could be Styx are now down to 6. And they're going into exactly the same spot where I saw them last. Just off Twin Dams Road, there's a bit of an open patch there, and they were there the last time I saw them. Funnily enough, I think it was there. We just waiting for this one lioness to catch up with them. I'm thinking once again the old lady that hangs back. I don't want to go in front of her. I'd rather she catch up with them. And if they're going into a signal shadow area, then we're gonna just go back to the boys. See how long we can follow them for. None of them are limping, that's good. A couple of them were before. And all seem to have a pretty
Grace. How many gala you got in, huh? 6, but I left them for the somebody not from between them. Okay, yeah, because you said young my daughter back with them. They got young my daughter with them. Stop saying that.
Graham, are you coming to Ngala?
Not at the moment.
What's happening there? Change at the Leopards. I think she paused for a little bit too long. I'm confident she knows where they are. Old track heading up here. Stay with a little bit heading ground, just handheld. Question for Sebastien. Okay, copy. She's caught up with the rest of the group, and we'll see. Maybe they'll get better. Sebastien, Lisa and Laura were asking, have you ever been this close to lion and leopard, and what do you think of the morning so far?
I think you'd have to really but yeah, I've been that close to lions and leopards before, but yeah, this morning so far it's been awesome and two really good sightings.
Sebastian's saying yes, he has been this close to lion and leopard before, and it's been a really awesome morning for him. If you haven't been able to hear that, I see lion flopping down further up, so they've made their way well off the road to this nice area. They're going to be sleeping maybe for some time. Full tummies, good chance they're not going to be moving too far. Let's wait for this one to move up to the rest, and let's get to see them too. I saw one flopping down on its side, so I think they're going to probably go to sleep here. Oh, there's an old track that runs on the southern side of that Skovanin that's just north of Twin Dams. You'll see my Mkonzo for my mover. If you just follow, there's a game pass, just follow the tracks. They're now Lullapunch. Sneak in here if I can. Disturbing her. Go. There we go. Flat cats again. All 6 of them. This is the curious one that came up to Alex. I mean to Sebastien. I just can't believe how fantastic the last 24 hours have been actually. Wild dog and rhino yesterday morning, and lion and leopard this morning with the rain in between. Interesting to see how this, if this does anything to the bush in terms of green or leaf foliage coming out. Already, because a lot of the dust and the dry leaves have now been settled. Obviously there's rain knocking a lot of dried leaves off of the trees. Able to see the green of the guarri and some of the other things that are still a little bit green. Mostly the guarri that we're seeing that's green. That's just looking a lot less dry, a lot less harsh than it was yesterday morning. Very pale and dry and monochromatic. Being damp like this gives it a little bit of depth and color. The burnt areas of the fire breaks are going to maybe come out with a flush of green after this, with a little bit of luck. Could be nice if we get a little bit more rain. Not really time for rain, still midwinter. maybe move the vehicle at an angle better. Huh? I just wanted to let them relax to us here, but now I just want to move so that we're facing them more. It's just so much easier for operating the camera if we're facing them better. Very good. So I'm guessing the size of animal that they must have had is must have been something like a zebra or kudu or a wildebeest. I'm hoping that maybe we can find out from the Eastern Channel at some point what it was that they may have eaten, if anybody knows. But judging by full tummies from some of them, 2 of them fuller than the rest, but they've all had something to eat, and that doesn't come from an impala. Impala doesn't go very far with 6 lions. The 6 Styx. SYX STYX. Nice name. The 6 Styx. With these ladies and young male flat, will be making his way here. You see one lioness that was just sitting next to us starting to move further in. Don't know if they're all going to follow her or not, but might be an idea. Yep, they are. They're going to start getting active. Well, they've got a vehicle coming in, so they're moving on. Don't know if they're going to go a little bit further and flop down. But I think maybe it's time for us to get back to the leopards. If these cats do move on a little bit, they're only going to move a short distance and then flop down again.